Y'all doing? If you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. We have 2 board games we're gonna part out. And then we have a vintage Pokemon. I don't even know what, but when I pick up a Pokemon item and it says 19.99, I just buy it because at $3, it's battery powered. I don't know what it does, but it's probably going to be pretty valuable. Anywhere from break even to astronomical. It'll be a surprise. All right, so let's dig into the board games first. So I've been big on Monopoly, Life, and Clue lately. As you list things on eBay, you tend to sell more of that item. You know, case in point, I did a video with VTEX not long ago, and I said, you know, my VTEX sales have dwindled, so I'm probably going to stop taking those in. And it included my 10th VTEC fire truck. I today put one in the mail and checked, and I have 1 VTEC fire truck left. So somehow listing VTEC sold a ton of VTEC. I think I listed 2 items and sold 8, 9, mostly fire trucks, weirdly enough. But yeah, so we don't sell this for the game itself, we sell it for parts. Cards, tokens, and the weapons. That's what it's all about. We got X. I've never sold these figures. These are cool though. You know, they're traditionally pawns. We have all 6 weapons, and that's the part that sells the best. And then we got the cards. Real quick, you got nine rooms, 6 weapons, 6 guests. We got everything. So that right there is $9. We are positive. Just got started. Next, we got Life. I'm just gonna peek and see how my listings are doing on this. I decided to stop listing certain aspects of the game, which I do, like Monopoly. I don't bother with the property cards, Chance Community Chest, all that jazz, because nobody's ever gonna buy it. But this one I wanted to check in. We buy this for the 2 items that always sell. Spinner. That's in good spinning shape, I think. There we go. A little wonky for a second. That works. Oh, they sorted this out nicely. And the cars with the pegs. So, what we don't need are the houses and all these bits that go into it, because they're not going to move. That's what I checked on. And that's why it's important not to just keep adding to the collection. You got to check and see if people are looking at your listings. And if it's already at rock bottom prices and nobody is looking at it, it's because nobody wants it. Not just yours, they just don't want it, period. So we're looking for 6 cars. We got 3. 4. 5. Unopened. Oh, 6. And then the tricky part is I'm going to have to look at my listings because they all have different amounts of pegs. That is, unless I sold them all. But the other thing is, I gotta check and see if I got any of this stuff. So I'm gonna have to count my pegs and get those out. This is a pretty cool sandwich bag, actually. I appreciate when people put fixed closed, good quality bags. I use a lot of those for sorting, shipping. rather than, if you want to secure something, you wrap a plastic bag around it, then you tape that bag, and it keeps it from moving. I've done shipping videos before. If I do have a particularly good weekend, maybe I'll do another one just to update. So we have the thing I question is we have money. And unlike Monopoly, the money changes frequently. And that kind of makes it a pain. Money's different every few years. Monopoly's only changed its money twice. There's 3 iterations. But real quick. Garbage. So cards and tiles, I think I'm going to stop listing as well, but we're going to look. I think I have a decent backlog on it, but I don't think they're moving right now. All right, so I'll take a look at that. All right, so, and I wish I could put this on the computer. For some reason, the mobile app is way better for finding your own stuff. I'm sure there's a workaround, but I don't know it. So, what we got? We got the cars. I have a listing of those that's still active. 7 views in less than a month. That's fine. $8 for the cars. That'll go. Spinner, I got $8 on one of those. 4 views. I've sold quite a few of those, so we got another one. Game of Life cards and tiles. What we just put down there. 39 days, no views, no watchers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that because I put it for $9. I'm going to put it for 8. And see what we get out of it. Now, a trick you can use to keep track of what you're doing, if you're so inclined, is if you lowered a price on something and you want to make sure that you lowered it and still didn't get any views, you could change the title of that item and change it to be you have a code. So the title, put a plus sign at the end of the whole spiel. And then you would know. It wouldn't mean anything to anybody else. But I, of course, closed everything out. Life. Okay. And then money, I have 1 view. And I have an older set of cards, no views. Older set of money, 2 views. Another older set of money, 2 quantities, and I haven't sold it in 1,000 days. So that's going to be on my other weekly 1,000 day review at some point. But that's why I'm doing it. So we're just going to not bother with the money and change my listing for this. I could either do a completely different listing, or I could just even out the amount of pegs per listing and just make sure I send the right amount and have 1 listing at quantity 2. That's what I'm going to do. And those will go. And that'll put us there. Now let's get into the whatever this Pokemon thing is. I don't know anything about Pokemon, really. It came out when I was 17. And I didn't have a Game Boy. So it just kind of came and went for me. There were kids. I was still in high school. Kids were really obsessed with it. I like strategy card games, but I didn't really play with anybody back then at that point. So, yeah, it just never resonated with me. I don't know a lot about it. But I know that these things hold a substantial amount of value. So what this is, I don't know. If I had to guess, it's some kind of projector. There's this thing that makes that locked into place. Like a launcher? Yeah. So kind of launcher, or that's a ball and a piece, a guy. Oh, the top opens. We got Charizard. I'm guessing it's like a Viewmaster or something. Maybe it projects a picture, but I have no idea. This base moves. Couldn't tell you why. It has a battery compartment, so we're gonna open that. That may, once it fires up, we might be able to figure out right away what it does. I could get this open, I would be doing something, and I'm nervous about breaking it. It's just a real, to make it more ball-like. The batteries slide in there, and then it doesn't tip out, it slides out. So this is double A's. And it's corroded, but not bad. So, let's see if we can get this thing to come to life. This is just a really awkward battery compartment. I'm not sure. I guess I gotta tighten it up to see if it's gonna do anything. Okay. None of these buttons are doing anything. I don't see a speaker. So I suspect it doesn't necessarily make noise, but I feel like it would have a light. Different batteries, I guess. Hard telling, not knowing what it does. So I could Google Lens it and then look up a YouTube video. Typically, if I can't figure out a toy, see how it's supposed to behave, that's what I do. Google Lens gives you the clue. Almost always there's a video involving a toy. Somebody does a review, somebody shows off a collection, and they'll have it. It's great with Transformers. I've never been good with Transformers, so whenever I find them, I always find a video and somebody that's much better at it than I am shows how to transform stuff. There was a little corrosion. Shine a light in and see if it's bad enough where it would actually affect this. It's really not bad. So what I'll end up doing, try one more time with a different set of batteries. If we can't get it going, we're going to look up what this thing is, so I can determine whether or not it's worth fixing. Because I didn't look up anything about this. I just saw that it was Pokemon. And I said, yes, we're going to try that. And this isn't like a weird battery where it's flipped. Theoretically, once I touch this, it should work. We've completed the circuit at that point. So I shouldn't have to do anything with it. I feel like it's going to shoot me in the eye. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to look this up. Because if I put Pokemon 1999, it's just going to show us everything that ever happened. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe not. All right. 1999 Nintendo, 2000 Marvel Entertainment. So I'm wondering if this is some kind of tie-in to something. All right, what do we investigate here? Pokemon 2000 Marvel. Let's see what comes up. I didn't look at how many items are out there. 98. Oh, that's our guy. Vintage Pokemon Marble Shooter. Marble Shooter? Why does this need batteries? Okay. So I have Charizard. Oh, okay. So this thing, you load the marbles in here. Now, okay, and that fires the marble. The battery must be something for this motor. It must rotate when you push these buttons, perhaps. Huh, okay. This does not sound promising because this is very odd. This must be like a view, like, because you're aiming. That kind of makes sense, even though it's not functional at all. Obviously, AI wrote this. You can't string together a couple of thoughts by yourself. Just don't. Don't do AI. Actually learn a skill. Like writing in your own language. We got another one for 30. Blastoise on this one. So, Marble Shooter. Pokemon Marble Shooter. Get 78 of these. Okay, now we're cooking. And these are the little marbles. Okay. So that's what those are. Those go for, again, we don't know what this is going to sell for, but that looks legit. Marbles, this, there's no way this took off. Okay. 78 marble shooters. How many have sold? 37. But that one's different. Just missing pieces. There's different. It must be like a carrying case. Charizard Marble Shooter. Okay. So my issue is I can't figure out how to get it to do anything. So the next step would be I'm going to find this on YouTube and see if I can figure out what's wrong with it. And then if I can get it going, great. So I got Charizard. They sort of sell. I just have to be the cheapest Charizard. So 22 on Charizard, provided this works. And 22 looks like it's it. But sell-through wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. This likely wasn't very popular. Marbles is definitely a throwback. Whatever. So yeah, if I can get 20 out of it, I'd be fine with that. I paid $3 for it, shipping. It's not going to be a slam dunk, but and that's provided I can get it working or understand how it works. I think I should be able to. It's got to be a battery corrosion issue, and I can take care of that. Yeah, so not a super exciting Pokemon thing. These items can go for huge money. Uh, Whatever. We learned a little bit. I'll make a little money. Works for me. So if you into reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.